What is good, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of Quacks TV. With modern football not being the funnest place for me to be focused on right now, we're going to throw it back all the way to 2006 and the UEFA Champions League official game. Also, the first ever game with Ultimate Team. Before we start, we're going to have a quick look at some of the game modes before I go into a bit of a historical aspect of it. One of the biggest features was the scrapbook. Every time you beat a team, you put a stamp in the scrapbook and you could say, I beat that team. Yeah, fun, right? Next up though, and a real fun part, the Ultimate Challenge. You got to reenact some of the greatest moments in qualification and in actual Champions League history. We're going to be trying one just so you can see what it's all about. Man United versus Bayern Munich, probably the most famous Champions League win of all time. Yes, Istanbul, I'm including you in that. Unfortunately, because of obvious copyright issues, they can't have all of the old players, but Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Ryan Giggs, pre-shagging his brother's wife, Ollie's still at the wheel, Rio Ferdinand and Gary Neville haven't become absolutely terrible pundits. It's 2006, boys and girls. Quackers was in his youth and in his peak, and he's going to show you just how good at FIFA he is. Whipping it in early. He's moving swiftly on to the game mode that was made for this though. The game mode that this made its name on. The Champions League mode, the treble, where you have to attempt to win and survive various scenarios to succeed in winning the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League. I thought this was a safe space for me, to be honest. I forgot what year this. So obviously the Champions League final of 2006 wasn't exactly the funnest experience for an Arsenal fan, spoiler alert. You know, it's not a coincidence that after this EA decided never to use the Champions League until Arsenal were out of it. The delightful lads they are. There's the first of Barcelona's clearly offside goals they scored. Next up will probably be the second clear offside goal they scored. Probably just ignore the clear offside in it though, and Almunia single-handedly making me realise I could genuinely despise a human being more than I despise Adolf Hitler, and I do promise you, if it was me, Manuel Almunia and Adolf Hitler in a room, I would be shooting Manuel Almunia. The blonde-haired dog nonce. Anyway, I'm going to redeem Arsenal. First of all, Barry Lawson, that ain't me. Quack-E-Dog. That is the name. Boys and girls, if you want to see a series on this, let me know. I've got a lot recorded, you know. Trying to avoid modern football right now whilst... yeah, trying to avoid it. So, you know, if you want to see some more of this, obviously the Pulis project, it's still happening. It's a very big project what I'm doing next. It's very exciting. I hope you enjoy it because the editing's taken me 5 hours already. Anyway, as you can see, I picked a character who looks just like me in real life. That is exactly what you expect Big Quack not to look like in real life. CJ himself. The chairman is demanding a treble of Arsenal. Man, how times have changed. Anyway, this was actually the last official EA game with the Champions League in it before PES bought out the rights. As you can see, a lot of my players are injured. And Addy, get the feck out the door, and Robin Van... told myself I wasn't going to swear. Is here. This is why there's a lot of scenarios based on this. So obviously you can see Big D Doyle, famous Arsenal legend, D Doyle himself. Damien Doyle probably stands for. With the players missing, it's a chance for teenage reserve striker D Doyle, the absolute icon, the greatest young player in Arsenal history, to make a start. Big Mark Poom goal. Estonian football legend. Matthew Flamini, Julio the Beast Batista, Abu Diaby, the Cankles cracked king himself. Motherwell versus Arsenal, one of the tightest derbies, one of the biggest rivalries in football. It's time to get in the gameplay. Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley, yes, we used to actually have, well, not Andy Townsend, but Clive Tilsley is a great... Ross McCormack is playing for them, first of all. But Clive Tilsley, an actual good commentator in a FIFA game, yes, they did used to exist. Quack Dog, as you can see, the graphics absolutely outstanding, just otherworldly, and the funniest part is these were genuinely very good graphics at the time. But this is how FIFA was basically played back then. Use your winger, sprint down wing, cross ball. That's how you scored free kicks. Alexander Fleb, Van Persie, and Quackers learned soon enough that assisted settings aren't a thing on old FIFA games, and now I realise why I used to play on amateur and semi-pro when I was a kid. FIFA's gotten a lot easier. First of all, you don't have to switch with X anymore. You used to have to switch with the pass button. And here you're going to learn another thing about FIFA. Not the foul part, the fact that teams used to actually shoot the ball from outside the... I know, it's mind-blowing. Teams used to shoot the ball from outside the box.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Teams even used to cross the ball. I know, FIFA has spoiled us. That and that literally everything is a foul in old FIFA. But Big D Damien Doyle himself into Robin Van Prick, spinning his man. Fight. I thought this was on. I'm not going to show you a replay. You don't deserve a replay. It looked on to me. Here we go, though. Motherwell. Referees were still the same there. But yet again, as you can see, this guy has a one-step run up the guy to the left, yeah? Man still banged. Man still banged it. Who says that shooting didn't used to be realistic? It used to be absolutely outstanding. But big Scotty McDonald, the Australian sensation, the man from down under, is going to be sent down there soon, because that miss was criminal. Gilberto Silva into D Doyle, and you get to see just how good this game can be. What a goal. What a goal from Big Doyley himself. Quackdog, as you can see, is absolutely delighted with that one. It's just a beautiful finish. I mean, that composure on the line. To finish, it's just essential stuff, to be honest. And you're going to learn about another young man that many of you might have PTSD about, many of you may have forgotten about. Theo Walcott. Because here's the thing with Theo Walcott. All you ever have to do with Theo Walcott is give him the ball. And then just do this. Because even back then, when he was still a young youth, when he was still but a glint in his father's eye, he was still so fast. He was literally giving every single player and computer an aneurysm. It was genuinely a delight being an Arsenal fan back then. Julio the Beast Baptista is a waste man though. Finishing, when I tell you finishing is so hard now, well, not now, I mean back then, I can't put it in perspective how hard finishing is without assisted shooting. There's people who play manual, and I just shout out to you. But to be fair as well, this was when the only movement was left, right, up and down. This was when a Robo Sapien existed, and players moved like Robo. If you don't know what Robo Sapien is, they used to actually be pretty cool. God, I'm so old. Before we move on though, just a couple of, as you can see, we get the Motherwell stamp in our scrapbook and some challenges to give us some more points. That's because this game was very innovative. It already had Ultimate Team, not just that. It had an actual store where you could buy kits, balls, state. You could buy Highbury. You could buy Highbury back when Arsenal were good. But before I go, before I love you and leave you, I'm going to show you one other thing. An owner demands an owner actually caring about Arsenal. That's a foreign thought. But the transfer market, yes, you could even make signings. The summer transfer window is open. You could only actually make signings in this game mode during this period, and you could only make as many signings as it allowed. So I've got to sell one player, then I've got to buy one player. The amount I sell him for will add on to a very minuscule budget, and I can then use that money to buy anyone who would actually come to the club. I wonder who I'm gonna sell. Who might I as an Arsenal fan want to sell? Eventually I realised their bid was only going to get lower. Buy Van Prick. Anyway, now I've sold Van Persie, as you can see, I've got 10.8 million. I got dollar in the bank. This was when, yes, 10.8 million could actually get you a player who wasn't League 2 standard. Well, it could have if they all stopped rejecting me. If I was here for genuinely an hour trying to find a player. Eventually, after Huntelaar with Ajax rejected me, I was able to snap up Wesley Sneijder, the big Dutch young gun. Boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry to love you and leave you, but for now, we'll be back with another episode of this tomorrow, and hopefully if I can finish editing the Pulis project. But for now, peace.